Welcome to Unit 4, everyone, the final unit of our course on the United States federal government. You've traveled a long way since Unit 1, where we explored the foundations of the Constitution and the structure of our political system. You examined the protections of civil liberties and civil rights in Unit 2, and you looked closely at political participation, parties, and public opinion in Unit 3. Now in this last unit, we turn our attention to the institutions that carry out the work of government: Congress, the Presidency, the Bureaucracy, and the Judiciary. This unit focuses on the branches of government and how they interact with one another to create, implement, and interpret laws. It's where theory meets practice, where we see the Constitution come alive through the day-to-day actions of the people in office. We'll begin with Congress, the legislative branch. Here, you'll learn how laws are made and how representation works through the House of Representatives and the Senate. We'll discuss the powers granted to Congress, the significance of committees, and the growing polarization that affects how or if laws get passed. This section will also touch on the tension between representing local districts versus serving the nation as a whole. Think about how Congress's actions or inactions affect policies that matter to you. Next, we'll focus on the presidency. The executive branch is often the most visible part of government. The president is frequently seen as the face of national leadership. But what exactly can the president do? We'll explore formal powers such as commanding the military and vetoing legislation, as well as informal powers like shaping public opinion and setting the national agenda. You'll also examine how the presidency has expanded far beyond what the framers likely imagined and what that means for the balance of power. From there, we'll delve into the federal bureaucracy, often called the fourth branch of government because of its size and influence. The bureaucracy is made up of the agencies, departments, and civil servants who actually implement the laws Congress passes. While they're not elected, their work affects nearly every aspect of our daily lives, from environmental regulations to social security checks. This section will challenge you to consider whether bureaucratic power is necessary expertise or an example of government overreach. Finally, we'll turn to the judiciary, the branch that interprets the law. You'll learn how the federal court system is structured, how judges are appointed, and how landmark Supreme Court decisions have shaped and continue to shape American society. The courts play a unique role in balancing the powers of the other branches, but they also face criticism for being too political or too insulated from public opinion. You'll consider these debates as we examine the power of judicial review and the influence of the Roberts Court in particular. By the end of this unit, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of how the three branches and the bureaucracy work individually and together. You'll see how they check and balance one another and how conflicts between them can stall or drive government action. As you move through Unit 4, ask yourself, do these institutions still function as the framers intended? Does the system of checks and balances work in today's highly polarized political climate? Where do you see strengths and where do you see weaknesses in how our government operates? This final unit ties everything together. It shows you not just how the government is supposed to work, but how it actually works in practice. Messy, complicated, and yet remarkably resilient. Thank you for staying engaged throughout the course. I hope you approach this last unit with the same curiosity and critical thinking you've shown so far. Let's dive into Unit 4 and see how the branches of government bring the Constitution to life.